And you've been watching a keynote speech this afternoon for lunch with the International Joint Commission with Foreign Affairs Parliamentary Secretary Bob Deckert. And again, we've talked so much about how organizing with the Great Lakes and organizing all of these different groups together to talk about regulations, talk about what environmental groups are doing, is really an effort between the United States and Canada as well, because of the millions of people who are affected around the Great Lakes Basin. We cannot forget our Canadian neighbors as well. So that's also part of what's happening here in Detroit for Great Lakes Week as we continue to discuss the health of the Great Lakes. We are on day 2 of these conferences. Healing Our Waters Coalition has started their conferences this morning, and we've been going in and out of what their programs are. Everything will wrap up tomorrow, and of course you can continue to watch us for comprehensive coverage of everything. So we thank you for joining us on greatlakesnow.org or watching us on your public television station. We're going to take you now to EPA Administrator Lisa Jackson.
Years of pollution pose serious threats to both the immediate and long-term health of local waters. That is, until visionaries like then City Councilman and Council President Carl Levin, and more recently Faye Nelson, along with many others, decided it was time to bring the waterfront back. Foot by foot, yard by yard, gallon by gallon, the Detroit River and its shoreline has been restored for this community. We are seeing today that urban renewal and community revitalization can literally begin with renewing riverfronts, with renewing harbors and lakefronts, as well as the waters that they connect us to. Now that fight to bring back the riverfront here isn't so different from what we are working to accomplish throughout the Great Lakes system. Acre by acre, mile by mile, you are all taking steps to ensure these magnificent water bodies are pulled back from the brink. And that was the thinking when President Obama unveiled his Great Lakes Restoration Initiative a little more than 2 years ago. We have the vision for what we want our coastal parks and cities and open waters to be. Now, it is a matter of dedicating resources and work to turn vision into a reality. Just last year, we joined several of the Great Lakes governors to release our 16-agency action plan. Under that plan, I'm proud to say, and pretty amazing when you consider that last year was really the first full year when we had a season in the field, but we're already showing results. At the Shiawassee Flats, just north of here, fish and wildlife habitat are coming back after decades of losses. That will help improve water quality, reduce flooding, and support this region's proud and rich outdoor heritage. At Chicago's beaches, swimming bans and advisories are at a 5-year low. And after more than 2 decades of frustratingly slow progress, we're investing in Great Lakes Restoration Initiative projects in toxic hotspot areas of concern. We're laying the groundwork for places like White Lake and River Raisin right here in Michigan, Sheboygan River and Harbor in Wisconsin, the Ashtabula River in Ohio, all of which will ultimately be taken off the cleanup list. People have spent their entire careers trying to check these communities off the list of places plagued by pollution. It's not a list anyone wants to be on. We're taking steps and getting results. Again, thanks to you. Now this, of course, is just the beginning. We have a long way to go. To help guide the work, I'm proud to announce today on behalf of the Federal Interagency Task Force for the Great Lakes our key priorities for 2012 and 2013. While continuing to plan for rapid responses, we must step up our efforts to prevent invasive species from entering the Great Lakes. We know that prevention is far more cost-effective than dealing with the damage that has already been done.